everyone, Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge, and today what we're going to talk about is considerations for your carry ammo, specifically in the case of the pistol today. So I'll give you some tips on how to select it and other things such as environmental conditions and other problems that people find when they pick ammunition for their handgun. The first consideration that you need to keep in mind, the one that's the most important, is does this ammunition work reliably and shoot accurately in your gun? That's the thing that you need to consider, reliability over everything else. The accuracy, that's more of a product of fundamentals than anything. But we need to make sure that ammunition cycles properly. My criteria for carry ammunition in my pistol is unless I've shot 300 rounds of that specific carry ammo in my gun, I will not carry it. Your life doesn't have a price, so we want to make sure that it will actually cycle and function. That one box that you run through, those hollow points, that's not an accuracy or reliability test, folks. I got news for you. You want to make sure that it works. Now, I know some of you out there are saying to yourself, man, 300 rounds of self-defense ammo, that's expensive. It is, but it's not as expensive as finding out that ammo doesn't work when you need it to work the most. So we need to consider that. And in fact, my advice would be, with the price of that gun, work the price of at least 300 rounds of self-defense ammo into the price of that gun, because we need to make sure that it works. Trust me, I've had big brands that I found out did not really work well in my guns. We had to find that out over time. But that's just another tip to consider, and it's the most paramount tip, is that make sure that your gun feeds it reliably, that it works in your gun, and that it shoots the same point of aim, point of impact as your practice ammo. The second point that I want you to consider for your carry ammo is this. It needs to perform to a standard. And I've got a link in the description box below. There's a link in there that shows you what the standard is that you're going to want to make sure your bullet performs to. We want a minimum of 12 inches of penetration, maximum of 18 inches of penetration. That's from the FBI. They've done extensive testing on this. You want to make sure that bullet will actually penetrate that deep. You know, people wear all kinds of different types of clothing, leather jackets, you know, jean jackets, sweatshirts. Some people are a lot bigger than others, so consider that. But a lot of people think, well, 12 inches from front to back, hardly anybody alive is 12 inches from front to back. Well, I have seen people that were that big, and what we're talking about is that possible side shot. So your bullet needs to be able to penetrate 12 inches from the shoulder all the way into the heart, even if they're facing sideways. You know, bad guys aren't always just saying, here I am, shoot me out front, brother, oh, I'm out in front of you. It doesn't work that way. You may have to take a shot on an active shooter or a criminal or a bad guy. You may only get the side shot where you're going to need a minimum of 12 inches, maximum of 18. That's what the FBI states for their criteria. And as I said, there's a link below. There's many brands that work to that standard, so you may want to check out that link. The third consideration to take into account when you're choosing handgun ammunition for self-defense, guys and gals, is that you want to make sure that you're carrying hollow points. I know some people out there will say, well, I carry ball. Hey, I salute you for carrying any ammunition at all in your gun loaded. That's a big step in the right direction. But guys, ball is not the best choice for self-defense. Will it kill people? Absolutely. The Germans killed millions of people with that round, okay? But the ball, or 9mm or whatever, Americans have, you know, in the 1911 hardball works, but there's a lot better options than ball ammo, okay? Technology, bullet development, it's all work. It's the technology is there that's made it unbelievable, regardless of what caliber that you carry. You're gonna want to carry good hollow points. This is for a lot of reasons. Number one, it expands quite a bit above the diameter of the round. The bigger the expansion, the more blood they're going to lose, the faster they're going to lose consciousness, provided you hit a major organ or blood vessels. So we want to make sure that we have a good hollow point. For you all in New Jersey, I'm sorry, it's a felony. You know, that's the only caveat to this. You know, in New Jersey, hollow points are a felony. Cop killer rounds, right? But we all know that's bull crap, so maybe your state legislature will fix that. I doubt it. But for the rest of us in the 49 other states, we've got to consider hollow points are a much better choice than ball for your everyday carry ammunition. Another consideration to take into account is that you've got to change your carry ammo out. Now, you're going to hear different opinions on how often you should change your carry ammo out. I would say at a minimum, you want to replace your carry ammo a minimum of once a year, and that's pushing it. Why do we want to do this? Well, think about it. Your gun and your spare ammo is right next to your body. You're going from extremely hot to extremely cold, and vice versa. On those summer days when it's hot out and you're sweating, sweat will get in there. Moisture does affect ammunition. Okay, now will it affect it immediately? No, but over time it can. You know, I've known people that have not changed out their carry ammo for a long time, over a year and a half, 2 years, and they went to press the trigger and sure enough, click, and it's because that ammunition was no longer valid. You know, best case scenario, the gun will go off, it'll be extremely underpowered because of the powder, and at the very worst, it's just going to be a dud because it just doesn't ignite. So change it out a minimum of a year. You're going to ask, well, Reid, what do you do? I change mine out twice a year. I change it out every 6 months. You know, once in the new year and then once halfway through the summer. I mean, that's when I do it. It's worked well. I've never had a problem. So when you do change your ammo out, go out to the range, shoot that ammo, that's the old ammo, replace it with the new. You say, man, that could get expensive changing out your ammo. Well, guys, most of these come in boxes of either 20 or 50. At the most, you're going to spend $60 to replace your ammo. $60 is a very small price for that life insurance policy, making sure your ammo goes bang when you really want it to. Another tip for you guys is try different brands and weights of bullets. You know, you may be surprised which one works the best in your gun. For example, if you're shooting a 9mm, try 124s, try 147s. Try different brands. You know, try the different ones. You know, Speer, Remington, Winchester, Corbon, Federal. Try different brands. You know, you may be surprised which one shoots the best in your gun. You know, this is going to take some experimenting. Will there be that much of a difference? Probably not. But you know, just that small little difference could be a big deal. You know, it took me 5 different cycles to figure out what worked best in my gun, and I finally settled on 124s. I'm not saying that's what you got to do. I'm saying I found out that that bullet, the Federal HST 124, worked the best out of my pistols. You know, yours may vary, I don't know, but I want you to try different ones. Don't be wedded to any single brand and say, this is the end-all be-all of it. Experiment and try different things out, and as long as it's on that list in the description box, you're going to be fine. And the last consideration, and I know people have asked me about this in the past in class and also via email, what you've got to consider about plus P ammunition, and plus P means that it's got extra powder in there, extra pressure, which means the bullet's going to have extra velocity. A lot of people will ask, is it necessary and is it more powerful? Well, we're talking pistols, so it's not real powerful to begin with. But I've often found it's very unnecessary to shoot plus P ammunition in your gun. A standard pressure more times than not is going to be perfect for what you need, and in some cases that standard pressure may penetrate even better. You know, so go out and test that stuff out and see. You know, plus P ammo, if it shoots great in your gun, it groups tight, it's accurate, it feeds reliable, roll with it, man. There's nothing wrong with it. But understand that plus P comes at a price. It comes with increased recoil. So when you add more recoil, that means your sights are going to be on the target less, even with proper technique. So you may not need plus P ammo. If that's what shoots best in your gun and you can handle it, rock it out. There's nothing wrong with it. But just something to consider about plus Ps. A lot of guys want more power. You know, if like Tim the Tool Man Taylor, more power. It's not always the best thing. And in fact, oftentimes you'll find those standard pressure loads are exactly what the doctor ordered. So I hope that answers a little bit of questions about plus P. So just some tips for you guys considering self-defense ammo for your everyday carry, or you want to know this. I really don't endorse one brand over the other. I just know what works best in my gun, and that came through trial and error. And what works for me may not work for you. I do want you to change your ammo out. I do want you to test it pretty decently in your gun, and I want you to shoot what you can handle the best. You know, so those Airweight 38 plus Ps may not be the best choice for you. But I mean, all joking aside, you know, really test it out. Invest the money in buying high quality defensive ammo. You won't regret it. As long as it performs to that standard, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And that's just one less of the equation that you're going to have to concern yourself with. If you found the information in the video helpful, subscribe to the channel, like me on Facebook. That link's in the description box below. And if you want to get some good training on your pistol, come on out to Valor Ridge and we'll teach you how to do just that. This is Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge reminding you, the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.